Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Borderwise and welcome back to From the Depths, Let's Build, where once again we are going to be working on this giant octuple APS turret, which is, spoiler alert, well underway to being one of the most doom-y canoes I've ever made in my life. So, you've probably already been able to gather this from the title of the video and from the length of it, but literally all this video is armoring this turret and designing the turret cap, which is about 45 minutes or so, which just goes to show you just how lengthy and time-consuming large builds can get. This is why I don't make a habit of doing them, because, like, well, yeah, it takes so much time, and one mistake too early on can just cripple the whole thing, and it helps to, in a weird way, I've already, if you've been following the live streams I've been doing, which I highly recommend because it's a real hoot trying to conquer nature with wooden boats, I don't recommend it. It's actually harder than I expected, although to be perfectly honest with you, I really should have expected it to be hard, because geez, what was I thinking? I've tried that before. But yeah, so you will notice that I'm using reinforced wood because I have decided, you know what, that's actually quite helpful. It is amazing. Once you're used to your wooden vessels getting absolutely shredded by well, everything really, because wood tends to get shredded by absolutely everything, even things that aren't usually shred worthy. That was a weird way to phrase it. But anyway, it's like suddenly using reinforced wood, you're like, wow, I am made of steel! And, yeah, so reinforced wood all the way till the cows come home. And I'd like to apologize ahead of time for the amount of times I do something in this video, and then redo it, or like undo it, redo it, and then do it again. Because, gotta be honest with you, I've never designed a turret this big before, and the neck is a little weird. I actually could have made more of a neck on this thing. In fact, I probably should have, because this is a necklace turret, which I guess actually isn't that bad an idea. It seems to work pretty well in testing. I'm actually quite far along with this build, so yeah, like I've pre-recorded a whole bunch of building, because as I'm just recording as I'm building it. I'm trying something new with the Let's Build. Reasoning like, okay, since I have to build the darn thing anyway, we might as well record it and get some content out of it, because I love doing Let's Builds and people seem to like watching them, so away we go. And you can visibly see the gears turning in me brain, as I'm trying to figure out what the hell I'm supposed to do. And what are you doing? What are you doing, lad? I am wondering what this lad is doing. Yeah, interesting. It's a weird thing coming back to this because, like, again, spoiler alert, I've already built the hull for this thing. Which you will be seeing in a future video, I promise you. Yeah, that might be a bit of a problem with pre-recording footage, is that it sits for a while, and then by the time you get round to commentating over it, you're like, oh dang it, I already changed that, already fixed it. So yeah, that's probably a disadvantage to it, but on the bright side, I have a lot of footage to commentate over, which is lovely. Which is lovely and beautiful. And in the meantime, we get to just watch me figure out how on earth... What are you doing? I'm looking at past me and thinking, bro, what is going through your brain hole right now? You're doing interesting things. But yeah, like this is one of the reasons why asymmetric turret necks are... they're a bit of a bugger, as people say in the business. Don't ask me what the business is, because I shall not tell you. If you don't know what the business is, then it's not your business to know. The business is, you know, building in From the Depths. Like, you know, that's totally your business since you're watching this video, so presumably you play From the Depths or have at least heard of it. And if you haven't, welcome to From the Depths. This game's interesting. And by interesting, I mean it's probably the biggest time sink out of any game I've ever played. I mean, probably World of Warcraft is is a worse offender, but From the Depths is the most time-consuming game I've ever seen that doesn't have, you know, deliberately time-wasting elements in it, because the devs, bless their cotton socks, have done numerous updates over the years to ensure that this game doesn't, well, it wastes your time as little as possible. That's why the building is one of the most elegant things I've ever seen. Just lots and lots of building tools to help you get things down in a somewhat expedient manner. And I think this is the point where no, but we're not there yet. We're not at the point where I realize, brah, you need to extend the actual turret cap itself down a little bit. Because, yep, not there yet, not yet there. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna elevate the simulated deck here, the simulated deck. Don't take that out of context. I'm gonna raise it, and then a little bit later, I'm going to delete it again because I realize, oh, dang it, that was not the smart. That was not the smart. Also, I want to apologize for the diamond shape of the turret wheel itself. I am fully aware that it is possible to get a much more volume-efficient shape out of that, but I forgot. Once again, I forgot. I have a memory like a sieve, not a memory like a goldfish, because as it turns out, goldfish actually have pretty good memories. And pardon me as I inconspicuously reach for me sports bag, which has a water bottle in it, so I can drink water. I am the most professional who ever professioned, because I drink while recording. Ah, yum, fluid. Where was I? Ah, yes, circles. Circles are fun. So, circles are actually quite good for turret caps for necklace turrets, which is one of the reasons why I keep using them, is because if they neatly fit over a square completely, it means it completely covers the hole, which is super handy dandy, and you'll notice the circle's not quite big enough. That's fine, because we're going to extend it forward and back, and it's going to be really good. This is a monster turret cap. This might be the biggest one I've ever made, because that's my biggest circle prefab. And, yeah, it's bigger than that. Much bigger than that. Oh no. I drank water and now I'm burpy. That's no good. So yeah, it's like, and for those of you wondering, like, reinforced wood, is that the best idea? No. No, it isn't. 9 times out of 10, and wood certainly is not a good idea for this. I'm going for style points, because I like building in wood. Wood makes me happy. Wood is cool, wood is fun. Wood is mostly, well, EMP resistant, let's say. I keep saying that wood and stone is EMP proof, and there's always people in the comments ready to correct me on that, saying, no, EMP resistant. Get it right. Because EMP proof is not the same as EMP resistant. Well done past me, you deleted that, you made that fall off. Much the same way that water resistant is not the same way, not the same thing as waterproof. Ask me how I know that. I once walked, what was it? I think it was like 3 kilometers in like freezing cold, heavy winter rain, which admittedly is like New Zealand North Island winter rain, which is not nearly as bad as winter weather in, well, a lot of places actually. Like, if you live in the UK, or if you've ever visited the UK in winter, the average of that is probably worse than some of the worst we've got here up in the beautiful North Island. But suffice to say, any kind of bad weather is miserable if you're not properly equipped for it, and that's how I learned that my water-resistant jacket is not waterproof, and it was not the smartest moves. Speaking of not smart moves, this is the point where I realize, finally, that I really got to, you know, the turret cap has to extend a little bit down in order to fully wrap the rear of that, what do you call it? The rear thing. Whatever the rear thing. The rear there. I'm not entirely happy with how much of this gun is above deck, with all the coolers and recoil absorbers and stuff like that. That is not a big brain move. That is certainly not a big brain move. And is a sign of a flaw in me standard Tetris. So, and before anyone asked, yes, there is going to be a third part to the APS Tetris tutorials that I have been making, because, as partially expected, people have come out of the woodwork and told me things that I really should have known. before. But of course, that's the thing with From the Depths. If you don't hang out, well, I guess even if you do hang out in the main From the Depths Discord server, which is a thing, by the way, go join it if you feel like it. Just don't necessarily expect to learn everything all at once in there, because I don't know, I don't tend to go in there because it's very chaotic. You could, if you're lucky, run into a friendly person who can one-on-one tutor you with how to play the game, or more likely you will run into snobbish elitism and people will just basically laugh at you for not knowing the game. Or you'll just be ignored. Like, you know, it's a mixed bag. Not to dunk on the devs main server, but yeah, I just did. Sorry, devs. I just dunked on your server. I don't mean to dunk. Dunking's not cool of me. But yeah, so yeah, it's like, I'm just happy that people tell me stuff, basically. And so yeah, people have told me stuff. Wonderful people who, once again... Oh yeah, this is the bit I mentioned before. I was going like, oh dang it, crap, dang, poot. Darn it, diaper, dingle dang. I need to delete all that again. So classic building move right there. You do a thing, realize it was a dumb move, and then you undo it. So yeah, thankfully it prefabbed everything I did before, which is super groovy. And yeah, come on, place it. Oh, the tension's killing me, and lots of recoil absorbers just fell down into the netherworld. Great. What was I talking about? And then I put it on the wrong, I put it on the main hull instead of anything else, so that was not my smartest move. Not my smartest move at all. Time to do all that again. Yay. The hell was I talking about before? I've distracted myself. How do I do that? I just straight up distracted myself. There we go. What was I talking about? What on earth was I thinking about? It can't have been that important. Maybe it was that important. Who knows? Who knows? And for some reason here, I failed to do basic math and realized that there's just a 9 meter gap right there that I can easily fill with that. What was I talking about? Well, now that I remember, let's talk about like what your turret cap should actually be made of. Metal, surprisingly enough. You can't go wrong with a bit of metal, which coincidentally is also a fancy term for like, well, I guess road metal is the term. It's like gravel. That's something that you line a driveway with. Or just as when you're laying down, like, just stuff on a road. My commentary is all over the place today. What are you doing, Passport was? It's trying to figure out recoil absorption. Yeah, it's a bit of a Tetris nightmare in there, like, oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. Helpful people. Helpful people, whose names I don't remember, and I apologize. You know who you are, and know that you are cool and sexy, and I, at the very least, love you. There is apparently a very simple repeating pattern for APS that's basically just, well, it's just 4 clips to 1 autoloader, and basically you just make a big repeating pattern of that, and then you basically trace a circle on top of that, prefab that to whatever size you want, and then that's basically it. Yeah, so I need to go do that. I have seen photographic evidence is the wrong word. Image evidence of that very thing. So I will be doing that. It's a bit too late for this turret. This is my cool but not incredibly good Tetris talking right here. And what, I'm trying to remember what happens next here, and I can't remember. Can't remember at all. What are you doing? Alright, it's just sneaking in extra recoil absorption whenever possible. This is one of the problems with sticking too many separate APS firing pieces into one turret. You kind of run out of room for stuff. I just really hope that this turret will be able to take a hit to the face without falling to pieces. Because yeah, as even though reinforced wood is tougher than standard wood, that's nothing to brag about, because a lot of things are tougher than wood. Although I do have to say the end result of this turret piece is pretty good, actually. It looks good, even though performance-wise it's probably not super great. And what I fill the cheeks with, so to speak, might cause some people to roll their eyes, because I just kind of ran out of ideas. Or maybe I got lazy, to be perfectly honest with you. I just stuck some detection turrets on top of this one, when I could have just snuck them in the sides here. In fact, I probably should do that. Be a lot easier. And cheaper. Probably should do that. Probably should do that. Next recording I do of this should probably change the turret so that the detection is hidden inside the turret itself, not perched on top. Sorry, spoiler alert, that's what I end up doing. And this is, it's actually a really good exercise for building from the depths, is just set yourself a timer, like, okay, I'm gonna sit down for 1 hour and I'm gonna hammer out something. And then you do, and then, you know, once the hour's done, you walk away from it, you have a think with your brain. But hard to have a think with any other part of your body. I don't recommend it. Don't think with any part of your body other than your brain. Lads, you know what I'm talking about. Brain only. Oh boy. Alright, what's past Borderwise up to? Is he thinking with his brain? Yeah, he's thinking with his brain. Look at him go. Look at him placing slopes down like, okay, never mind. There go the slopes. Slopes are great, man. I friggin' love slopes. I almost regret this thing not being able to be a full pancake turret. But alas, alackaday and alas. So I guess this is an extended pancake turret. Not sure what is past Borderwise up to now. He's doing stuff. What are you doing? Oh yeah, there's some weird block stuff that is happening in here. And I have to admit, I kind of got lazy at some, like right there, for instance. I didn't stack those blocks lengthwise for some reason. I think the idea is that I don't want like multi-meter deep holes poking in through my stuff, and then I do that. So this is part of the problem with building like on a timer, is that you do tend to be like, oh, bollocks, oh, no, oh, just do this. Just do this. Get it done. Get it done. And before anybody says, just take your time, Borderwise, no rush. Yes, there is a rush, because I will be dead one day. I don't want to be on my deathbed thinking, like, I might only wanted to finish my giant-ass Octo-Doom canoe. In case anyone's worrying, like, no. Well, I highly doubt anyone's gonna worry, but just so you know, I'm perfectly healthy, and I'm... How old am I? I'm 29, so, let's give me about, let's say, maybe 50 years? Let's give me that. Assume, like, touch wood, that nothing terrible happens. How do I keep... Why and how do I keep talking about death in things like this? Just in the Let's... But I'm pretty certain most people don't tune into the Let's Builds for me to talk about how one day I will be dead. Because that's a very somber thought. And it's not like, haha, boat go boom. Man. Now I'm looking forward to when I test fire this thing towards the end of the video. Spoiler alert, I do that. I don't remember what I shoot at. But it's fun. It's the most fun. You have no idea. This is the second time today I've done that voice. In case anyone's wondering, I actually did my usual weekly live stream this morning. Yes, I do that. Live streams are super fun. Everyone should try it at least once. And after you've tried it at least once, come watch me do it. Or somebody, or any case. So yeah, this is basically what this whole thing is for. It's just the biggest, nastiest pseudo-wooden thing that I could possibly envisage. And yeah, That's the idea. That is the idea. And it turns out, if you want to make a big nasty wooden thing, step 1 is don't use standard wood. You fool, because standard wood is basically cardboard. Would you bring a wooden sword to a gunfight? I don't think so. And this is one of the reasons why this, just making the turret cap for this darn thing, would take so long, is because I've got to figure out how to smoothly integrate slopes, and gently make things slope together in a way that is oh so smooth, oh so sexy. Because we can't have just bad slopage. That will not do. And unfortunately, you're going to see a lot of bad slopage, like before we get to the good slopage. Oh, and for those of you who keep telling me to use transition blocks, like transition slopes, you are absolutely right, and I in fact do manage to use them here, which is fan-dabby-dozy. I'm not sure what the hell I did there. I just shuffled blocks around. Blocks around. What goes around, comes around, comes around, comes around. All the way back around, yeah. I don't even know if I like that song. That's a Justin Timberlake song, right? I think so. I have not listened to any of his... There is a good way of knowing whether someone is famous is to ask me if I've heard of them. And if I say... yes, that either means they're so famous that, like, you know, you'd have to literally be incapable of human language at all to never have heard of them, or wow, I lost track of what I was saying, because, like, I was distracted by one. Let's try that again. Okay, so, if you ask me if I've heard of a particular famous person, and I say... if I say yes, it either means they're actually really obscure, or they're so famous that you'd have to be dead to not have heard of them. There, I mentioned death again. Bravo, idiot. Bravo, Borderwise. You're trying to get away from that topic. You know how hard it is to improvise commentary when you're trying to avoid certain topics of discussion? Mm-hmm. That was me a bit earlier when I was dunking on the official FTD Discord server. Dang it, I just brought that up again, and now everyone remembers it, especially me. Dear. That might have been slightly on purpose. Anyway, oh yeah, famous people, and who's heard of them. It's weird. Like, I could never understand people who judge others for not having heard of a certain celebrity or something like that. That's weird to me, because we're all in our own, I guess, bubble of influence, if for lack of a better term. And sometimes you just haven't heard of people. Like, I am now of the age where I think the last 2 latest crops of celebrities are younger than me. And it's just like, I don't know. And I hear the young people. And by the young people, I mean anyone younger than me, which is a decent amount of people, I guess. They talk about somebody, like a famous singer, a famous actor, a famous, like, even people like YouTubers and streamers and stuff like that, because those are genuine celebrities, famous people. And I hear about them, or people talk about them, I'm like, who? And they're like, dude! You haven't heard of them? It's like, well, no, because like, how are you supposed to hear of them? Like, how do you hear about famous people? I guess, how do you first hear of famous people? I guess you just hear of them through the grapevine, so to speak. Because here's the double whammy with me. I don't watch television in the traditional sense, although I think fewer and fewer people do these days. So if you're not just at the mercy of what is on the network programming, you don't get exposed to things that you don't deliberately go looking for, if that makes sense. And so I guess celebrity is a lot more selective these days. There's like people who are very, very famous in the particular arena that they would be famous in, and then outside of that area, like, they'd be completely unheard of, which is kind of cool. I like that. means that, it means that, like, it is possible to be a celebrity without people, like, immediately recognizing you and stuff like that, which I am not claiming to be a celebrity. I am definitely nowhere near that. Having a YouTube channel of a reasonably modest size like mine, nowhere close. You compare me to the likes of PewDiePie and stuff like that, I'm gonna look at you sideways and be like, dude, hello, like, he's a household name. Even people who don't know what a Let's Play is have heard of him. Meanwhile, you say, hey, you hear about that Borderwise, they say, like, is that a travel agency? And then you could say, yes, they're based in... Shakes, where are they based in? Dang it, my example's bad. But yeah, if you Google Borderwise, well, I will pop up, and I'm happy to say that, because it means the SEO is working. S stands for Search Engine Optimization. But also there's like a... What the hell is it? I've forgotten what it is. It's like an agency somewhere in... It's either in Canada or the United States, and 10,000 apologies, and like me banging my head on the ground for getting those two places confused. I know that would... Well, mostly the Americans in the audience will just be like, okay, and the Canadians will be like, how dare you? How dare you? It's not like your two countries are literally right next to each other or anything. That, like, okay. Alright, I take that back. I take that back. That's not a cool thing to say. Because I just remembered Europe and what Europe looks like. Oh, hey, look, I just filled in all that stuff. I think I do come back and... Wow, I really do go on tangents during this whole thing. But I think I do end up... Yeah, I definitely smooth out both the front and rear of this thing. Because it very badly needs smoothing out. Very, very badly. Yep, here's the smoothing. Nope, nope, we ain't there yet. We're not there yet. No more, no, don't do the smoothies. Don't do the smoothies. And that was me checking how expensive this turret is. Spoiler alert, this turret is very expensive. Because it is bigger than some entire craft, and is an APS turret. Which means it's expensive. I remember, and this is... going back to the misty days of the APS overhaul. Those of you who remember this, oh, you'll remember this. It was the big one. The one that Draba, forever may he be remembered by the From the Depths community, is, that was a very, very divisive update, so I feel. Because basically it meant that people... Well, APS was kind of nerfed, but also made far more sensible, if that makes sense. Yeah, so, man, like, and I remember just the comment section of the video I did, so basically, it's like the update videos I do, saying like, hey guys, here's the new update, here's what's in it. Here's me reading out the patch notes so that you don't have to read. People apparently don't like reading, which is, I mean, I guess understandable, sometimes you don't feel like it, but I am a bookworm. I say that, I read a lot. Books these days, not so much, so... Yeah. Did I really just fill that, undo it, and then do the exact same thing again? That's just the definition of insanity. But anyway, I remember just... Like, and it was like, it's memorable, particularly because, I think the campaign mechanic overhaul was like, the only thing comparable in the amount of just... I guess, Backlash by a vocal, by a significant vocal, yet still minority of people in the From the Depths community, because that's the thing. That is the problem with the internet, is that, it died away, of course, after a while, because the people who were really not okay with the update, they either, you know, they either stopped playing FTD or they got used to it. I saw, like, for myself, people who were very, very noisy and moaning about the APS update. Just, like, I don't know, really bitterly complaining, like saying, the devs have ruined the game and I'm not going to play this anymore. And, yeah, they kept playing it and they got used to it and they stopped being mad. Surprise, surprise. So, I guess a lot of the times it's a knee-jerk, There was... Oh, yep, transition blocks, transition blocks. Ooh, shiny transition blocks, yeah. So I guess people just, at the end of the day, they don't like change. And they like... And a lot of it has to do with people don't like endlessly having their designs that have taken like tens or dozens or even hundreds of hours to build rendered, you know, out of date overnight. I get that. I hate updating craft I've spent a lot of time into. But at the same time, you know, games gotta develop. And thankfully, now that the game is, like, you know, properly released, now, like, we can actually commit to things a little bit more, which is nice. And, assuming they don't pull another drama and just completely change the mechanics of something. Speaking of, I am tempted, and I haven't acted on it yet, because there's a zillion different videos that I could be doing instead. And also, I'm not sure if anyone's really interested in this, but I want to do a video on how I think CRAM Cannons can be improved. Because, here's the thing though, there is a request tracker that the From the Depths devs have so kindly set up so that people can, in a very streamlined, efficient manner, like, submit requests for stuff. And yeah, so I don't want to be seen as circumventing that, but at the same time, I would love to hear feedback on it. So if you want to hear my opinions, and it will be basically opinions, because keep in mind, I'm not a game developer, and I can't code for peanuts. Seriously, you ask me to code a peanut, I'll say, are you out of your mind? Just buy one from the grocery store. That was a weird tangent, but yeah, anyway, so if you want to hear about that, let me know, and I'll happily do that, because here's the thing, here's my uber nerdiness. In my own time, I've written it down. I've written notes on stuff like that. And a lot of it is the kind of thing that, you know, people have been suggesting for ages for CRAM Cannons, one of which being gunpowder pellets. Because the main problem with CRAM Cannons, as I see it, is, it's just a lack of versatility. They do one job and they do it pretty well. The problem is that anything that falls outside of that job, which is shooting things that are big and slow, that move in predictable ways, and that also are, you know, above the surface of the water and don't have significant amount of munition defense, that's their job. And anything that fits that bill, they do great against. Most craft in the game do not fit that description. Like, and like, just in the Nita campaign, most things do not fit that description. And just anything moving above 40 meters per second, you miss all the time, and yada yada yada. I've moaned about crams a lot before. Why? Because I love them, and I would like to see them be more useful in more capacities. The problem is that every time you suggest something like that, people will say, but then they'll just be like APS then. I really have got to stop quoting, I guess, straw men and giving them a stupid voice, because that's not very nice. That is not very nice of me to do, and I will stop doing that. But yeah, people will say, but then they'll just be like APS then. I will say, not quite. Not the way I'm picturing it. So yeah. Mainly, I just want to, you know what would be really cool? Nuclear cram shells. I'll leave you with that tidbit. And what else are we doing? We're finally getting around to... Yeah, I think I redo the front and back of this thing at least twice more. So yeah, I really do like making turret caps. It's one of the things, I haven't done it for a while, but just whenever I can't think of a thing to do in From the Depths, I just make a turret. Because, yeah, making turrets is fun. Yeah, this is getting there, it's getting there, it's not quite there yet. We can do better. We can do much better, in fact. And, I think the end result of this, like, the final version of this turret, I do believe it's not going to be done by the end of this video. Because, here's the thing, like, it's a weird thing to do, and I don't necessarily recommend it, but recording the building of a thing, and then looking back on the footage of it, it's weird how ideas come to you. And it's just like... I'm looking at this thinking like, okay, yeah, there's certain things I could definitely have done better. The number one thing, of course, is, I think I mentioned before, I don't actually smuggle detection into this. Here's the part where I smooth out the bum. Smooth out that bum. You gotta smooth out that bum, baby. You gotta smooth out that bum. You are not smoothing out the bum correctly. Smooth out that bum better. Come on, Borderwise. You know what to do. Well, I mean, you were trying to do the thing. Ah, boy. What was I talking about? Darn it, I did it again. This is still technically multitasking because I'm watching what's on screen and trying to think of, oh no, yeah, this is the point where, yep, I did not remove the slopes. Yep, didn't, oh, yep, but I remember as I was building this, there came a point where I was like, I had the block shrunk and I looked at it, was like, what the, why are there slopes in there? Why are there slopes in there? Oh, it's because I left them in there. Derp a derp a derp a derp. Derp a derp derp. And that's the point where I realized, 2 plus 2 is, is 4. Merge. I cannot do a Homer Simpson impression to save my life, and I would highly doubt anyone would appreciate me doing an entire video in Homer Simpson's voice. It's like... I don't even remember it. It's just like... Merge. Merge, what's happening? Merge. I don't think that's it. I need to go hand in my impersonator license. I've been impersonating an impersonator this whole time. I especially like impersonating a terrible Transylvanian. A fake Transylvanian, if you will. Anyway, yep, critical eye, going over there, finally saving the thing. I'm sorry for making anybody anxious watching this for, how, you know, rarely I save the thing. Because you never know, game could crash, bad times could be ahead. Yeah, and here's like, I think round 3 on the front of this. Just trying to get the thing smooth and, you know, smooth and cool. Smooth McGroove. Is that a person? Somebody's got that name, somebody. Somebody. Somewhere. Good. Reset. Reset brain for the talky talk. Have a drink of water. Think about what you're doing otherwise. Think about it. You can almost feel the steam coming out of past Borderwise's head as he's thinking like, how make slope good? How make slope the good thing? When in doubt, just a whole bunch of 2-meter slopes, I guess. Yeah, you can figure it out. You almost got this. Almost got it. Use your brain. There you go. You did it. Kind of. You didn't do it. There you've done it. Almost done it. Getting there. Getting there. Almost. Jeez. Yeah, there we go. So I freaking love those square corners. And the building of the hull for this thing, I actually used a lot of square corners. I love them. I remember the bad old days. I'm waxing nostalgic a lot in this commentary, aren't I? But yeah, it's like I remember the bad old days when we didn't have things like square corners and transitions. You young people these days, you don't know how good you got. I should stop talking. I only got into From the Depths in 2017, I think. So yeah, it was like 3 years of like, quite a few people had like a 3-year head start on me, in terms of playing FTD. So yeah, it's like, I am not allowed to do the grumpy old man thing. I am not allowed to do that. Because if I go like, oh, you darn kids, and, you know, someone's gonna come out of nowhere being like, oh, Borderwise, you young man, you think you know what's what? Like, yeah, I remember when custom cannons were a thing, and then they became CRAM Cannons, and they suck. And I'll be like, okay, calm down. I was only doing this, you know, I was only putting on the old man thing to be entertaining. You can calm down now. Like, I'm actually old. I am the most ancient. I am the person who bought it on Steam first. I am the original Depthian. Praise me. Nope. You smell weird. And how did you get into my house? I found out where you live. Because I want to tell you that your ABS Tetris isn't very good. That's very nice of you, original Depthian, but, no, thank you. I would rather you didn't. Well, what are you gonna do? Well, you're an old man, so I can't physically throw you out of me house, so please leave. Okay, I'm gonna leave YouTube comments. Please do. Your expertise is welcome. Alright, so now that he's gone, what's happening on screen again? Oh yeah, a lot of... Funny thing with reinforced wood, I always try and arrange it so that the bit that looks like wood is the most visible, which means I get weirdly anal about, you know, using it inside interiors, particularly when, no matter what, you're gonna see both sides of it. And here is my big brain move, where I ensure that the all the wooden slopage on the outside has a backing of reinforced wood, because armor stacking is still a thing, and it can save your bacon. And if you can't eat bacon, it saves your remember, Jews and Muslims cannot eat pork, so what's the thing they usually... It'll save your halloumi, that's the one. They don't use halloumi as a substitute for pork specifically. If you don't know what halloumi is, it's cheese. It is a mild kind of cheese with a high melting point, which means that you can fry it, and it doesn't immediately turn into goop. Oh yeah, here's the part where I remembered, oh yeah, you dingus, you left the slopes in there. So yeah, but if you haven't tried halloumi before, it's great. I was talking about it with a buddy of mine over the internet about cheese the other day. Man, I love cheese. I'm craving cheese right now. I might just have some cheese after this. How about that? Actually, I have leftover pasta. Oh no, I've made myself hungry. And speaking of, I think, yeah, I have, yeah, looking good. This is looking close to how I remember it. But, not quite there yet, I don't think. Nope, not quite there yet. There's still more fun stuff to do, including shooting at something. And once again, I have no idea what exactly I have, Oh yeah, so, this is the point where I just go full lazy, and I just... Well, I just take that detection turret, which was jury-rigged right there, and I stick it on the turret itself. Not my best move, I don't think. But yeah, it's like, it looks kind of cool. Just like, you got this turret with, like, more turret on top of it. Yo, dog, we heard you like turrets, so we put some turrets on your turret, so you can turret while you turret. Now, how old does that mean? I just showed off just how old I am. This would have been a golden opportunity to actually stick some detection in there, but you know what I do? I don't do that. I get super lazy and I just fill it with truss blocks, which I'm not entirely sure how good an idea this is. I was feeling kind of lazy, and this is the problem with doing big stuff when you're feeling lazy, is that it bites you in the arse every single time. I'm gonna probably have to come back to that and do something else with all that space. Probably stick missiles in there, because now I think about it, there's a lot of room for missiles in there. Like, a lot of room. In fact, I definitely should do that now I think about it. Ladies and gentlemen, do not let me forget that missiles should go in that turret. Like, you know, with a lot of, like, reinforcement, of course, but, Actually, yeah, that's a problem. I need to stick detection in those cheeks, and also missiles, because I can totally fit both. Yes, yes, though. We've got detection bunkers on top there. Yes, 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 yes. Oh yeah, and this is... Okay, so this is a weird thing I do right now. I'm just like, what can I do here? And so I basically just test the colors, and I want to see basically how it looks ahead of time. Because, yeah, the color scheme for the start is going to be pretty similar to this. It's like my usual standard wooden craft thing, which is just... Whoopsie daisy. Which is just kind of black with white stripes down the center line. So yeah, that's basically it. It's just testing how it looks. I think it looks pretty good. Very Ireland gaming, and apologies for... I bring him up every so often. He was a great inspiration to me for From the Depths. I learned a lot from his tutorials back in the day. And yeah, it's just like... one of the best compliments I've ever gotten is basically like... I'm the new Ireland gaming, so to speak, which is... And I'm not. Like, he's... I still think that his content was better than mine, to be perfectly honest with you. If nothing else, because he has the really cool Irish accent, and no one knows what my accent sounds like. I don't know what my accent sounds like. It's indeterminate. Also, his builds just had lovely style to them. And, mine have developed a style, but I think his style was cooler. But, yeah. Me sad now. Me remember Ireland Gaming. Go look at his YouTube channel. If I remember, I will put it in the description. And if I forget to put it in the description, bug me, please. But if I forget to put it in the description... Oh, hello, we're shooting at... What are we shooting at? I was not paying attention. Oh, that looks good, though. And, oh yeah, so I remember biting my nails at this part because I thought maybe it would crash the game. Oh yeah, Great White. Yeah, Great White is a fun thing to shoot at. Particularly with Party Mix 8-meter shells. Yeah. Sorry, I was distracted by the fun just there. I should actually calculate the total RPM of that turret, because that's a lot of 8-meter shells just being flung downhill. Downhill? Downrange. Why'd I say downhill? We're on the ocean. What hill? Like, you know, bodies of water do not form mountains unless they freeze. Do you see any icebergs around here? I don't. And that reminds me, okay, yeah, I'm just checking what kind of damage is being done. It's good damage. It's good damage. We're getting deep in there. We're getting deep in there. We're poking holes. We're poking nice big holes. And yeah, there's a pen depth flak shell just that happens to get right in there. Man, I love AP shells. They're really annoying when they're being shot at you, but when you're firing them, they're really good. It's like particle cannons. Oh boy, the stream earlier that I did earlier, oh boy. I keep forgetting just how ridiculously powerful particle cannon-equipped submarines are. Because they're super strong. Yeah, what was it? The Lightning Wood's Hydrovolt was actually giving me a hard time, because, fun fact, using wooden submarines, not a super good idea in the first place, especially if you're up against something armed with a high explosive particle cannon, which is possibly the hardest counter to a wooden submarine possible. Because you can't dodge it, and you can't tank it, because you're made of wood, dummy. Yeah, I have to admit, I got a little carried away with the whole, oh wow, this video is not 45 minutes long. I was way off. Time flies when you're building giant-ass guns. So yeah, I think that's basically it for this. It's just, you know, giant gun, armor the thing, and yeah. I think I only turned off the movement of this thing to make an actual final image easier to get. So yeah, speaking of that, that's basically it for this build. Look forward to the next one, because that's when the hull gets made. And the hull, I do have to say, is something I'm kind of proud of, because it's, I don't know, it's a good hull. It's, I like the shape of it. But in any case, that's it for the armoring of this turret. That's all we managed to do. We managed to armor this damn turret. It's a big turret. It took a bit of work. So, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Support me on Patreon or YouTube membership if you like. It really helps, and there's fun perks in it for you. Thank you to all my current supporters, and I will see you next time in From the Depths. Let's build. Farewell.